Hey, good Monday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with a weather update here on your July 21st, 2025. Now, before we get going, we always like to say thank you and welcome aboard to any of you followers here on our growing little channel. And if you're not yet officially a follower, what you waiting for, my friends? Make sure you hit that like button on our main Facebook page and become a follower today. Now, if you're over on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future updates. Well, things are a bit unsettled out there for this afternoon. We've got showers, we've got some thunderstorms around, a few hefty ones at that. So we got plenty to get into for your updates. So let's get into this, shall we? As we're going to be looking up toward Blairsville right now. Got some rain in the area. You can kind of see that just on the edge of your screen there. And oh, by the way, thank you, Blairsville. Guess what? You guys are the #1 population source out there on our website. I just checked up the data, and you make up 3.5% nearly of our viewership. So thank you, Blairsville. Appreciate that. Looking over toward Lake Lanier, seeing a little unsettled weather down there. Looks like the camera's just a little out of focus here, but looks like we got some storms in the area of Lake Lanier as well. They're scattered all across North Georgia. The big story continues to be the heat, especially off to the east, but where these storms are setting up is definitely providing a little bit of a break. If we didn't have these rain clouds in here, I promise you this would be all filled in with orange right now, as it's a very stagnant and very muggy air mass across the southeast. Severe weather risk is predominantly to the north, although we do have a severe thunderstorm warning over near the Rome area right now with some storms nearby. So here's this one right here, goes to about 3:15. So again, as warm as it is outside with some of these thunderstorms, you cannot negate the possibility that one of these storms might go severe. We had one yesterday to the east of town. We got another one right now. So just watch out for these. We're talking some gusty winds, some lightning, and some brief heavy rains as these move on through. These are moving off to the southeast at about 20 miles per hour. Should begin to settle down as we get to after 6 o'clock for tonight. So there's that little bit of that troughing that's kind of lining up in there. And what's interesting about those summertime days like this, it's wherever those boundaries kind of set up from day to day. Now, going into tomorrow, we got a little fly in the ointment. We do have a backdoor cold front coming in from the Carolinas. We call it backdoor because it's coming from the opposite direction, what we typically see, not from this direction, but from this direction. So that's what we're going to see here going into tomorrow. So there you see the scattered showers and thunderstorms unsettled. I don't know if Atlanta, Hartsville, Jackson actually made it to 90 today. They may actually break that streak today because of the clouds and rain. It did fire up a little bit earlier than expected, so we'll see. I'll have to go in there and check and see if Atlanta, Hartsville, Jackson ended that streak at 19 days of cracking 90 degrees. I'll have to look at that a little bit later for tonight. All right, so what we're going to see here going into tomorrow, with this backdoor cold front coming on in here, again, the high-resolution models aren't really picking up on this too well. Here's a big conglomerate down to the south. I think it's a little bit further south than where it should be. I think it'll be further to the north. So anytime you introduce a boundary, like a front, with this kind of air mass, you're going to get thunderstorms around. So I'm going to keep it a fairly healthy level for tomorrow, around 50% or so. And then we'll see it back off a little bit as we go into the next day or so after that, briefly. And then we'll see the temperatures kind of come back up at us here as we go into this upcoming weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast maps so you can see what I'm talking about here with this frontal system. Again, we don't get them very often this time of year, and when they do, they typically come on down here. It's like the cold front graveyard. They tend to die on out, and that's what we're going to see here. Again, as you go in toward tomorrow morning, here comes that front. So with this boundary sitting in here, again, with the daytime heating, I'm going to keep that rain chance up for one more day. And then as we go into Wednesday, I think it starts to back off here a little bit. And then look at it going on Thursday. We really see that air mass kind of coming out. What we're seeing here, we had a very tropical air mass kind of do a little loop-de-loop here, and it's kind of coming back around once again. So the rain chances should begin to come back up here as we go in toward your Thursday. Notice there toward Friday. Saturday backs off a little bit, and then Sunday. Weekend's not looking all that bad. I think we're going to go more of a, your typical 30% chance of rain, 30-40% like that going into this weekend. But in this week, the rain chances may come up a little bit. Again, it will differ from day to day. It does make forecasting summer times a little bit of a pain, but you just got to deal with it. So, all right, so here's our forecast here for tomorrow. Again, I'm going to keep it unsettled. Now, going 93 and 74 there in the Gainesville area. Oop, there we go. Sorry about that. And again, we'll see scattered storms again here throughout the day for tomorrow. Again, that proximity that front and nearby. Here's our overnight lows again. Showers, thunderstorms should diminish after 6 o'clock. Should be fine. Partly cloudy tomorrow morning. Again, maybe some patchy areas of fog. If you got a little wet out there, shouldn't be too bad though. Most areas here in the 70s, except for a few 60s up in the mountains. Tomorrow, okay, we're going to see unsettled weather in here. Still looking hot down toward the south from Athens over to metro Atlanta. but a little unsettled here with that backdoor front coming on here. And again, the same cards are in play here, depending on the timing of when those storms flare up, could impact if we're going to get that hot or not. But if they don't fire up, it's going to be very easy for this kind of air mass to heat up very quickly. So we'll watch that closely here for tomorrow. Again, all across the southeast, very hot. Check these out here toward the west. Wow, 99 in Memphis, 98 in Jackson, 95. Do you think there's going to be some heat advisories there? Pretty good bet. Look at Columbus at 98. Pretty good bet. We'll get that as well. But notice up toward Asheville and Charlotte, 85, 87. Again, that little bit of that front. It's enough to, when you see temperatures being knocked down from the 90s into the 80s, you got a cold summertime cold front there. All right, so here we go with our next 7 days. We're going to bring the temperature down. Maybe we don't crack 90 in Gainesville going into Thursday. Lower 70s, kind of bring it down just a few degrees. And then we bring the rain chance back up to 50% going into Friday, 40, 50% here. These 2 days, we'll watch closely. Right now, it looks like a lot of the heavy rains will stay to the south, but it could easily work back to the north there. And then going into the weekend, not bad. Not a washout, 30, 40% chance of rain through the weekend, low 90s, low 70s. So temperatures running just a little bit above average as they've had for a lot of July. And we're going to continue that trend here going in as we go into the last week of July. But I promise you, we're not going to see any big changes here. We'll wait till we get into August as the days start to shorten up a little bit. We'll see how that starts to make that transition, especially once we get through the month of August and obviously get into September. Then we're talking real fall weather, but we're still a good 2 months away, folks. So just got par for the course here. At least the tropics, for the most part, remain quiet. There's a tropical wave out there in the Atlantic. Not too concerned about that just yet. And we'll continue to watch and see what happens here with your forecast. Again, thanks, everybody. We did crack 8,000. We're trying to get up to 9,000. I'm really having to try to tailor my advertising dollars. I really could use y'all's help. Got to get those organic likes going. I got way too many ad buys and not enough organic ones. So, for example, of the 8,100 we've got on this page, about 7,500 that's through the ads and 600 is through just regular organic likes. So that proportionality is kind of bad. But so I do need y'all's help. Help me out here. Invite your family, friends, whatever you can. We got to get the numbers up because that's the only way we can grow the page to get the advertisers and sponsors to bring in the level of equipment and quality of professionalism I do want to get for this page to get to. For right now, it's all done by me, kind of making it up as I go along. So again, appreciate you guys checking out our product. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you on tomorrow's update. Till then, y'all have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.